Hi, April here. I just wanted to touch bases and do a quick video on how to keep your pet sitters. So you finally found a good pet sitter that you really like and you'd like to keep them and not have to use the kid next door who let your dog out and lost him for a while and all of that. So I'm hoping that I can help out a little bit with how to keep your pet sitter, because your pet sitter won't stick around if it's harder than all the other jobs. I mean, here's the thing. Your pet sitter gets calls every day that they turn down because they don't have time or they don't have the resources or it's going to be too big of a hassle compared to the other jobs. Because if you've got 100 clients and they all pay $20 and you can only take 70 of them, you're going to pick the 70 that are the best. You're going to pick the 70 that you can do the easiest, that you can get to the easiest, that will pay you, that will just not be difficult. You know, we can't take all the work, and so we're going to take the ones that are the best. So here's how to keep your pet sitter. Number one, make it easy to get in and out of your house. Don't block doorways with stuff. Make the doors easy to open and close. I had one client that would put trash cans. I was supposed to go in a side door in her garage, and she put 3 trash cans in front of that door. So the only way to get in was literally to bust through those trash cans from the door. And I hoped that there wasn't something on the other side of those trash cans. I knew there wasn't a pet there because the pet was inside the house, but I didn't know if there was going to be a car or a bicycle or some valuable antique on the other side of those trash cans. So make it easy to get in and out. You know, make sure your key works really well. Make sure that there's, just not stuff blocking where the pet sitter is supposed to be going. It's pretty simple. Just make it easy. Number 2 seems pretty simple, but pay them, in some sort of timely manner. If the agreement is that you're going to pay them on the first visit for whatever the number of visits is, if you're going to be gone for a week, and you're going to pay them for the 7 visits they're going to do, pay them, leave the check there, or pay them with PayPal, before you leave or whatever. There's not very many things that can make a pet sitter feel devalued as much as somebody forgetting to pay them. It kind of makes you wonder if you really matter, in the whole scheme of things. If you're really valued by this customer, if they're going to forget to pay you. And it's not really about the money. Most of us budget our money, well enough to, do the gas, to get out to your house for the week. There's a little bit of that though. If we're trying to get out to your house 20 times before you get back to pay us, it can be difficult, depending on how far you live from our other customers or from our house or whatever. Hi, Finnegan. But anyway, I mean, just be aware that it's not the biggest thing, but it is kind of a big deal if you forget. Number 3, clean up some. Don't leave a huge moldy mess for us to clean up, because we don't want your pet to live in that, and so we will have to clean it up probably. So clean up a little bit before you leave. Number 4 would be to make your pet a priority. If your pet is stuck outside in, foxtails and bugs and ants and water that's sitting out in the sun in a metal pan, and we're supposed to come once a day and see that pet and give them the little bit of attention they're going to get in a 24-hour period, that's not a fun job. And that's not the kind of job that makes a pet sitter love their work. And that's the kind of job that we'll probably just pass on to someone else, because we start wondering, why? Why are we doing that job? Why aren't you just hiring the neighbor kid to come and throw some food over the fence? Yeah, I mean, it pays the same as the other ones, but you start feeling bad for that pet. Finnegan, you start feeling bad for that pet, and you start feeling like you just don't want to go there and, see those conditions. Um, Number 5 is, don't waste their time with extra trips and meetings. If there's something you can do over the phone, if there's a conversation you can have over the phone or over text or whatever, don't ask them to come and have an extra meeting with you. See if you can pay them on one of the visits that they're doing or at the initial interview, or, and give them keys at the interview. Try to minimize how many times they have to drive out to your house. Those are just extra visits. I don't charge for those. And I don't want to charge for those. So, minimize how many of those I have to do in order to get your business. Number 6, give as much notice as possible for scheduling and cancellations. I understand things come up. If you call on a Thursday and you need something for Saturday, if you're already an established client, that's fine. That's usually not a problem at all. But if you're brand new and you have something coming up this weekend and it's Thursday, I've got to come out and get a key. I've got to come and meet your pets. I've got so give as much notice. And then cancellations, that makes it hard too, because if you scheduled this out 6 months ago and I have had you on calendar and turning down work, and then 3 days before you're supposed to leave, you cancel, it's not a big deal. I mean, I can always take the time off. That's not such a big deal, but it can be, if it happens over and over and over again. And I don't charge for things I don't do. So it's not like, okay, you canceled, but I still have your money, So it's kind of it can make it hard. Just be aware. Just give as much notice as possible. If when you get notice, give me notice. Number 7, be as specific as possible about dates and times that you are looking for someone to come and take care of your pets. Are you available this weekend is kind of vague. Like, okay, is that Friday through Monday? Is that just Saturday and Sunday? Hello, Shaggy. Is it, just morning visits? Do you want someone there all day long? Are you available this weekend is really not, that's kind of tough to say. Yeah, sure. I'd love to be able to do that, but, my time is scheduled out a little more than that. Number 8, don't call at 2 a.m. unless it's an emergency. If it's something that can be sent by email or text, do that. I'll get it and I'll get back to you. We don't get a lot of sleep because sometimes we have jobs that start at 11 p.m. and then another job that'll start at 4 a.m. And so if you call at 2 a.m., you sort of cut into our time, but that's okay too. If you have an emergency, of course, call. But see if you can send those, oh, I forgot something messages by email or text, and then we can get those, at opportune times. Number 9 is be patient. We drive a lot, and sending texts and answering phone calls is kind of rough when you're driving. Just saying. But I will get back with you and your pet sitter if there's someone that you like. They're going to get back with you. So just be patient. And then, be kind. I don't know how to explain the kind of customer that is not kind, but if you're demanding and don't, I don't know how else, I don't know what else. I don't want to give examples of that. It's an awful thing to have someone not be kind. Um, I'm kind to my customers. I'm kind to their pets. If you call and you're calling names, and I don't get a lot of that, but just be kind. Because if you're not, you won't have a pet sitter. So that's all there is to it. So, all right, say bye, Finnegan. All right. All right. I think you guys